Hi everybody, welcome back to part 2 of how to use Irish moss as a raw food. It's been a few days now since we've rinsed and cleaned the Irish moss, and we're now ready to use this, and we're now going to make the Irish moss paste. So what you're going to need today is you're going to need to get the Irish moss out of the fridge. That's the first step. 2 cups of cold filtered water. You're going to need a spatula. You're also going to need some scissors, a glass jar, and a good quality blender. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Irish moss out of the fridge, which I've already done, and I've already kind of went a few more steps to save some time on the video, so I've used up part of this already, but I'm going to show you the steps here. So this is the Irish moss from the fridge. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the water. Again, you always using cold filtered water with the Irish moss. I'm going to do a final rinse. Nothing major. It's already had its bath the last few days. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I've already got some Irish moss in a measuring cup. I'm going to cut up some more. Now the reason you're going to use the scissors, and make sure they're sterile too, please, to avoid any bacterial contamination. You're going to cut this up because if you don't have a really good quality blender, the Irish moss, it looks like this and it could get tangled up in the blades, which you don't want. So if you cut it, not only can you mix it faster, it'll actually avoid tangling, and as well as chunks. And if you find any hard pieces in this, what you want to do is just discard them. You might get the odd hard piece. I see a few here. So cut this up. It doesn't have to be super small. You just don't want it to be all tangled up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the 2 cups of the cold filtered water into the blender. And I'm going to add the Irish moss, a cup of it. 1 cup of cut up Irish moss. Clean that up a bit. Put the lid on. Now, before I start blending this, you want to make sure that you don't overheat it, especially if you've got a good quality blender, because remember, the heat will actually cause it to, it'll diminish its thickening capability when used in a lot of the recipes. So you might have to stop for a bit if you don't have a good quality blender, and then reblend it again until you get the smooth consistency. So this is going to be loud, sorry, bear with me here. If anybody's got a Vitamix, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to slowly increase the speed. You may have to talk louder. I don't want, and it looks like I've got my paste. Now if you don't have a good blender, you may have to take the spatula and scrape down on the sides of it, but this is actually done fairly well, and I can see already it's all gooey and all ready. That's what the paste should look like, okay? And when it's got a really cool consistency when you put your hands on it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this. Now I recycle a lot of my glass jars, my nut butter jars, and the large ones are actually 16 ounces, so this will fit 2 cups, which is exactly what's in here. And I like to pre-measure the moss because when I'm making the recipes, I don't have to second guess. It might be a little bit more than 2 cups there, but oh well. I filled it up to the top. Now this is the consistency of it, and maybe people can see this, so let's pour a little bit in my hand here. Come on. It's actually really good for the skin. And you can use this on your face as well. You don't have to just use this for culinary purposes. It's actually got like an aloe vera type gel. Supposedly it's good for sunburns and psoriasis and eczema, but it's also good as a skin softening agent. And you can use the rest of it if you want to, or you can keep some aside and you can add it to shampoo, lotions, anything like that to give you that extra softness. And it does make your hands very soft. Now that I've just played with the Irish moss paste there, let's finish off here. Now I highly recommend, this is what you're gonna have. You're gonna get 2 cups of the Irish moss paste. You're gonna store this in the fridge. This will last up to 3 weeks in your fridge. Make sure you put the date on it. Very important, because sometimes, you know, life passes us by and the dates can swing by and you're like, oh, when did I make that last? So make sure you put the date. So I put December 15th because today is the 15th, and it's gonna be good till January 5th, but I know for sure I'll be using it way before January 5th. And you may want to put Irish moss paste on there so you don't have anybody taking it and kind of figuring out what it is. So, and then you also remember what it is too. So stay tuned for part 3, where I'm going to be showing you how to make a raw chocolate pudding for you chocolate lovers in the next segment. In great health, everybody. Bye.